Okay, let's go through your keyboard layouts. Keyboard layouts is important because it will make your point of sale or your 4POS scan program perform better and faster. The whole idea behind the keyboard layouts has been to achieve the minimum number of keystrokes to be able to perform certain functions. So the defaults are what we've inherited over the years, and they will typically be F1 for search, F2 for cash sale, F3 for card sale, and so on. So if you have a retail environment that is a very fast moving retail environment, you'll definitely want to change this to be better buttons or smarter buttons that you can use. And the reason for that is, again, it's a question of speed. So if you want to see the rest of the functionality in terms of keyboards, as you can see on the right hand side of the screen here, I've brought up the little menu that will show me all the keys. And to achieve that in the point of sale, you press the control button. These buttons get pressed together. So press control one finger, alt with the second finger, and shift with the third finger. So that is how you toggle it on and off, as you can see. Now to change the keyboard, you'll go into the back office. Let me go jump back in here, get out of what I was busy with, and go to my store setup and security, and you'll see there's keyboard layouts. Now in my database here, I've got a couple of keyboards there. You will choose what type of keyboard layout you want to start working with. And the reason I say that, because you'll see we've got a reference to a Dell notebook. And on notebooks especially, you've got a problem that a lot of the notebooks, my new Lenovo laptop for instance, all the function buttons needs to be pressed with a function key first. In other words, it's got a little button on the keyboard that says FN, and you have to press that and then press F10, or function button F1, and so on, which is a total pain in the and so you might want to change the keyboard layout around for Dell specifically. Also, you might say that, okay, on my laptop I do not have a numeric keypad, therefore I cannot use the star button on top of the 9 that you will have on a normal keypad. So let's go and look at the Dell notebook, and you'll see by default we've changed it now to be Shift and 8, the numerical 8 on top of the U and the I on your keyboard. If you look at a 101 keyboard, in other words, that little star there, and not the star on the numeric keypad if you had a 101 keyboard. I hope it makes sense what I'm saying. Alright, so let's just quickly look and see where the quantity button is, and over here you'll see it. Okay, so this little highlighted button that I've got here, you'll see is Shift and 8. So if you want to change it to anything else, you can literally just click on it, and you can see it says Shift and 8, which is the normal 8 again, not the 8 on the numeric keypad. And you can go and make it anything else by just pressing Shift and 7, for instance. Okay, if you want to change it, you say, no, I made a boo-boo, Shift and 8 or any other button. I can effectively go and say I want to put it on you. It's however you want to do it. Okay, you can decline it at any stage and it will stay the same. So as you can see, each and every one of these functionalities, you can go and change the keyboard layout as you wish. And on the right hand side of that screen, you'll also see that you can select whether it must show on the point of sale screen or not. So that's why the F1 is showing, because we specified yes. Okay, I don't want to hide it now, so I'm going to leave it like that. So let's go to a normal 101 keyboard, and we say we want to change the keyboard for retail purposes, fast moving, high volume kind of business, and I want to make my buttons a little bit smarter. So over the years, when we set up keyboards for customers in retail environments, we will typically go and change, first of all, the subtotal button from F10 to the minus sign on the numeric keypad. Now, if you look at your numeric keypad itself, you will see that your numeric keypad, it will make sense to maybe put the subtotal button on the numeric keyboard's minus sign at the top, and then we will use the plus sign, the nice big plus sign, as the cash button, because that's typically the most number of transactions that you will do is like that. And then the last button we're going to change now is the void button. So let's do that quickly. So the tender I'm going to change by clicking on it. I'm pressing the minus sign, which shows up as an M, and you don't worry about it. The M is an ASCII value. That's the only way that the computer terminology that it can display it. It cannot display the minus sign, which has got an ASCII value that's not typical a displayable character. So that's my tender button sorted out. I want to put my cash sale, so I'm going to click on that button and put my plus in there, and you see it shows up as a K. Again, don't worry about it. And then, as I said, the last button I want to change is I want to change my void. In other words, I want the customer is canceling a line because they do not have enough money with them or something, and I want to put that onto the slash on the numeric keypad. Okay, so if I accept that, all of those buttons are then programmed properly. And if I do an update point of sale, I'll be able to start using those buttons immediately. Just important also, if you are going to be using one of the other keyboards that you have selected, as you can see also, maybe just on that point, you can have different type of keyboard layouts for different type of businesses. In point of sale, we also have what we call a programmable keyboard, and a programmable keyboard is a keyboard that's got a fixed number of buttons. You'll most likely see them at supermarkets that's been around forever. They've got smaller little keyboards, typical 59 key keyboard, etc., etc., and they will program that to have preset buttons on that. So you'll have a button for bread or plastic bags and so on. You wouldn't have to scan the item or search for it or something. You can also purchase those programmable keyboards and then use POS to set it up properly. If you need help with that, welcome to email or inquire about pricing and so on. We also have the same options available. Alright, so just last thing we want to double check. In my point of sale, in other words, I need to go and make sure that in my computers, by default, it will select the one-on-one keyboard. So you can go and say that, yes, my server computer, the main computer that does my sales, or the office for that matter, will use the one-on-one keyboard layouts, but my POS 2 will use a different keyboard. That's running off a laptop, so I'll use that one. So it's quite nifty that you'll be able to jump between the two different types of keyboards and use it in the same type of business. Just remember, once you've done change keyboards or any other changes for that matter in the back office, I must do an update point of sale. Make sure that my domain controller is open, which it isn't right now, so I'm going to quickly open that up. And then once the controller has updated my instruction number, that 8907 is going to change to 8908, and then I'll be able to go and get that same information in my point of sale. Point of sale, again, wait for it to come through. It's just flashed on the screen there as you saw, 8908. If I now press my three little buttons, I'll see that my keys have changed. Open drawer is still on Control F2, and you'll see on the screen here my cash sale is K. My tender button here, the description on the screen has changed to M. Which is exactly what I want. So again, I'm just going to search for a product now, my standard F1, press enter on it, select my product. So now I will, in my computer now, press the minus sign for tender, type in my amount, and press the plus sign for cash to finalize the sale. Quite simple, quite easy. Enjoy.